Hey YouTubers, Steven here. How's everybody doing? So everybody's doing the frequently asked beer questions that Tasting Nitch started. It's kind of interesting because when I was seeing the beer questions, I was like, okay, some of these are kind of odd for a home brewer to be asked. Then I watched her videos and see where the appeal came from for the home brewers to jump on board, even though this is really more meant for the beer connoisseurs who enjoy drinking the craft beer and breaking them apart, versus us who make craft beer using extract kits and yeast and some fresh hops that I grew myself. Yeah, I know it's not an all grain, but I'm going through a lot of hop teas and having a lot of fun with them. And it's funny enough, I usually don't buy pale ale extract kits very often. Normally it's my red ale, that's my go-to beers that everyone knows. Facebook showed me a memory where I bought a pale ale kit a year ago. That was the last one that I had. So today, yeah, I'm doing a hop tea with 4 ounces of Newport hops, 45-minute, 30-minute, and 15-minute boil intervals. We're almost coming up on the 15-minute. I'm going to pour myself a beer in my big-ass beer glass. I got some Propeller Pilsner. Figured this would be a good video, to do a craft beer while I'm doing it instead of one of my own, and one of the dogs are scratching to get out. Thank you to whoever opened the door for the dog. Let's get this poured up here, because it's almost time to pour in my last hop interval. Actually, when I started to brew this, things were pretty quiet in the house, and Murphy's Law would have it, when you go to brew and film, everybody needs to be in the kitchen at the same time. It's probably going to be hard to smell this because, as you can probably see, the steam, this is all hop aroma, like smell-o-vision. But cheers, everybody. Cheers, Tasting Nitch, for getting this started. So let's give this Pilsner a try. I like it. I'm not much of a beer reviewer, but yeah, I do like that. I'll have to read up more on it because my time is actually limited. Oh, here we go, 15 minutes. Another ounce of hops going in here. So the first question here we have out of the 9. What was your first beer? Well, like most, it's probably something my father was drinking. He always he drank Schooner, which was a local beer here, or Alexander Keith's. And from Canada, if you talk to anybody, 80s, 90s, what did you drink? Keith's, they knew you were a Maritimer. Weird thing. Anywho, but my first drink actually was probably rye and water. As a little baby and I had the soother, I used to take my soother and dip it in my grandfather's rye and water and put it in my mouth again. Did that quite a few times while I was visiting my grandparents, and my parents used to get a kick out of that. But as far as beer, it's probably Alexander Keith's. Funny story, the first beer that I've ever bought, I was 15 years old when I went into the liquor store. And of course, other than sneaking the odd beer from my father's, beer cabinet, which I didn't do a whole lot, but at 15, you're starting to go to dances and what have you. My friends wanted, some beer from the liquor store, and they nominated me because, I was a hairy guy back then. Not so hairy now, but I was definitely a hairy guy back then. So I was nominated to go in the liquor store at 15. Legal drinking age here in Nova Scotia is 19. So I was nervous as anything that everyone was watching me. They knew I wasn't of age. Grabbed the first case of beer I could find, went to the cash. The guy looked at me and he said, "Oh, hot day, is it?" "No, sure is, buddy." I was wearing clothes that had paint all over it, so it looked like I was painting all day. get outside, my friends were like, "What did you buy this for?" It was 10 penny. Not the greatest of beers, but it was 10% at the time, so that was probably one of our stronger beers we had. Funny story with that. And number 2, how did you get into beer geeking? I'd have to say it's actually rolled into question 8. Do I brew? Well, we've answered that. I'm brewing right now. And it was really getting into the home brewing that got me into the beer geeking and not the other way around, from drinking getting into the interest. Beer and alcohol is extremely expensive here. So a bottle of beer, this bottle here I believe is $3.50 in the store. Maybe $4. I'm not 100% sure because I don't buy a whole lot of beer. If you bought Alexander Keith's by the bottle, I think it's like $2.05. When I make a bottle of beer, it costs me, well, this kit is $14 just for this pale extract. So that works out to be like 25 cents a bottle. Somewhere's in around there, 27 cents. Throw in a kilogram of brown sugar, and yeah, for some reason I really enjoy the brown sugar with these ale extract kits that I'm getting from Noble Grape. I don't get that cidery flavor with it. It's kind of weird. It's nice with the red ale, but I digress. So that's kind of how I got into beer geeking. When I made my first beer, it was like a Fiesta brew. It was an India Pale Ale, and those ones you just take home, pour in your bucket, pitch the yeast, you're done. You don't have to do any of this. I remember it was an IPA. When I had it, I was so blown away because it tasted so much different than what I had before. So that started me on the road down there. What's my favorite beer as a home brewer? I'm going to have to say I have to stick with the style, and my styles are normally ales. Lagers are nice in the summertime. You know, you're out, you want to have a few beers with your friends on a back deck or something, and you know, not get weighted down. But my preference is ales. So if I had to pick a beer for the rest of my life, I'd say a pale ale, because it's probably the easiest thing that you can make so many recipes from by using the same ingredients. I could add more hops to it. I could you know, add different fruits to it. You know, it's a very flexible beer. So I would have to say a pale ale for sure for a style. I know a lot of the beer reviewers out there, you know, would probably be able to pick out a single bottle of beer that they could say, yeah, this is going to be my go-to forever. Let's see, okay, just checking the time. We've got 9 minutes left. Oh, wow, that smells good. I actually still have to get my malt extract sitting in here in the hot water. Alright, well, that's okay. No worries. We're doing okay. Favorite beer, if I could only have one. Wow, I'm actually going along here pretty cool. What's this one? Okay, so number 5. How can you drink so much and stay healthy? I'm not healthy. I know it's terrible to joke about it, and actually, you know, when I get blood work done, everything comes back A-okay. My blood pressure's okay. I am overweight. There's no doubt about it. And as I happen to say in previous videos, I've gained, you know, 30 pounds, but I quit smoking in January. So my doctor keeps telling me stop stressing about the weight. It'll come off. The good weather's coming. You know, get out hiking and everything. And throw in the other thing, I'm trying to eat healthier. I never ate, you know, 3 meals a day. I only ate once. So now I'm eating 3 meals a day, and that's probably a big adjustment on my body. But cheers. It's getting really hot in here, so sorry about that. Are you an alcoholic? And I can gladly say no. A lot of home brewers used to do the 30-day sobriety test or sobriety challenge. And I always figured, no big deal. I have 1 or 2 a night. A heavy night for me is maybe 4 or 5. But when I had surgery there in January, by the time I got home, it had been about a week and a half, well no, 2 weeks, probably a little over 2 weeks since I had my last beer. I figured the hell with it. I'm halfway through the 30-day sobriety challenge, so let's go. I did cut it a day short because it landed on my birthday. So I had to drink for my birthday. But I only had 1. Or was it 2? Doesn't matter, right? Who cares? So 30 days, I didn't have any problem with it at all. And I suggest if you ever question, whether you're an alcoholic or not, first thing you should do is try and do that. Say, all right, whatever month first, I'm going to do this for 30 days. No cheating. Don't do February. February only has 28 days. If you want to do a real challenge, pick a month that has 31. But that's up to you. Give it a try. What's my favorite ingredient? I know I've watched a lot of videos. Everyone's got a lot of great answers for this. I would never have considered yeast as being a favorite ingredient, but just like, having one particular malt, and then you can do so many things with that one particular malt. So I would have to say, if I was to pick one particular ingredient, it would be two-row. Because that is pretty much the base of all the beers that I make for ales, is the two-row. But my favorite really is the hops, because I love the different hops, the different aromas, the different aftertastes, the flavors, and that's so universal. So I would have to say, yeah, definitely a hop head. I grow hops. Can't deny that I don't grow grain. Although it would be kind of interesting to grow my own grain and get it malted. And I answered number 8. And who in the beer world do I look up to? I could take all the easy answers, John Palmer and Brad Smith, everybody who works professionally, all the home brewers that I know that, are now brewing professionally, like, awesome guys, awesome. Yeah, we all dream about doing that. I've even had dreams of, having my own brewery. I mean, who doesn't? I mean, it's a lot of work, but when you love doing something, it's really not work anymore at that point. It's passion. But there's a lot of, home brewers on YouTube that I look up to. SJ Pour for the SJ Pour Challenge competition that he does every year. One of these years, I'll join in. I just look at the shipping cost. It's huge here in Canada, but some year. Imeladius, I really found him interesting. His videos were always making different things and not just the same old beers. And the styles. Love the Boiling Rock, right? Craig Tube. Everybody knows Craig Tube and started with Craig Tube at some point. He's a man with a lot of knowledge. So, cheers to you. Cheers to all the beer reviewers who, keep all the craft brewers in business and keep coming up with new ideas for us to keep, coming up with different ways of doing our beers or different flavors. And, sky's the limit for making craft beer, whether it's at home or doing it commercially. So, anyways, it's been fun, and I get 2 minutes left of my boil. So cheers, everybody. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. If you've never seen any of my videos, I have a wide variety of everything from making beer to cooking to mechanics to just plain whatever. you might find interesting and useful. Who knows? But so if you'd like to come along for the ride, hit that subscribe button. I'd gladly have you along. And but anyways, I digress. Cheers, everybody. 17. Until next time, be hoppy.